Hey, good evening. My name is Juliana and I'm Deborah at NodeOps. Welcome to today's live stream. Instead of calling it Vibey Vibe Coding, I've renamed it to Tinker Tuesdays and Thursdays because I think it better reflects what we're actually doing here, which is tinkering with new technology. So in the past, um, I've mostly vibe coded for these kind of sessions. We've looked into deploying with CreateOS. We have deployed using MCPs, using Claude Code. We've worked with a little bit of OpenClaw. Um, we haven't exactly gone out of the realms into like absolutely brand new technology. We've worked with a little bit of OpenClaw, and OpenClaw is absolutely fantastic. I can go into that again so we can deploy one together in like 5 minutes. It's super fast. Um, oh, hey guys. Hey Kanzi, it's so good to see you guys. Here, let me pull up the stream. Hi Kanzi. Hi Kukoba. So nice to see you guys again. But as I was saying, that I haven't exactly explored outside technology. It's so good to see you guys again. Um, so instead of vibe coding a small app, I'm not going to say the word rinky dinky again. We are going to maybe build something more substantial in the next couple of streams. And I'm also going to show you what it looks like to find new technology, like how I find new technology. So yeah, that was the plan today. You guys are open to suggest new things. I can show you how to. Here's what I wrote down for today. But in fact, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna type it. Here we go. So I was thinking, let me switch this around. There, perfect. So I was thinking for today, I can show you how to set up OpenClaw. You guys must know OpenClaw, right? In 5 minutes, super fast. I can get you to the point where you have your own instance going with TG. I would say this is 5 to 8 minutes with a Telegram bot, so you're chatting with it. And I can also show you how I find trending GitHub repositories, basically new technology. So I have actually 3 ways to do that. And the last thing I can do is we can start with a more complicated app. My idea, this is the vibe coding part. I was gonna vibe code Marie Kondo for emails. So what does that mean? You know how all of us have like 8,000 unread emails and like I can't be bothered to go in and clean my emails? I was thinking, can I make an app that will literally go into my emails and like triage like, oh, this is like 90 days old, let me delete it for you. Or like, let me make a new list and then check with you if you want me to delete it. You know, like it like takes your emails and puts it into like keep, delete, sort piles, just like Marie Kondo with like stuff, but for your emails. What do you guys think? Yeah. Hey, Dancy. Good, good. I'm glad you know OpenClaw. So this is what I was thinking of going through today. Um, what do you guys think? Does it sound good? Is there something you want me to do first? I'll make it bigger. Thanks, winner of glory. Okay, I guess if no feedback, I'm just gonna go do it. Let's start with OpenClaw. All right. So yeah, I need my emails sorted too. Okay, if I show you mine, I've got like 9,000 emails. Let me show you OpenClaw. So starting with CreateOS, assuming you guys already know CreateOS. If you don't, just come to this website called createos.nodeops.network and create your account. As soon as you create your account, you're gonna have 4,000 credits. You don't need any API key, nothing to start OpenClaw. You come in here and use those free credits that you get as soon as you sign in. So let me see if I have any deployments here. If I don't, okay, I already have an deployment. So let me log out and start with a new account. I'm going to log in with Google, going in with my email address. I know I have not set up OpenClaw here. Now that I've logged in, start the clock. I'm going to go into deploy. Where is it? My deployments. Hey, Joseph. I'm going to go to my deployments, come up here to OpenClaw, top left, and you see how I have no deployments. I'm going to click deploy OpenClaw. Bam. Now I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it Tinker Tuesday bot. And then I'm going to select the model I want to use. So I'll go quickly through some of these models. Some of them are smarter, some of them are not smarter. Some of them take more tokens, some of them don't. For example, I've played around with like Gemini 2.5 Flashlight, which is a really, really small one. Sometimes when I ask it to do things, it gets confused and it doesn't know what to do. Hey, Luxon, good to see you. Yeah, I would recommend if you really want something, remember you can always change your models later. You don't have to commit to one. I recommend going with Claude Sonnet, probably Claude Haiku, maybe even GLM or something like that. But some of these smaller ones, I wouldn't. Sometimes the bot gets confused. So I'll go with maybe like Claude Sonnet. Next, you're gonna make a Telegram bot. So Telegram bot, let's go. Telegram bot, you open up your Telegram, you go into Botfather and you DM your Botfather. Botfather is literally like a tool that Telegram has, and you go ahead and you create a bot. Okay, it's super easy. You just say like, hey, I want to make a new bot. And then like you type in / new bot, right? And it's gonna say, oh, let me take a name. I'm gonna call it Tinker Tuesday, right? And then I need to give it a username. Every username needs to end with bot. So let's call it Tinker Tuesday _bot. Okay, that's awesome. Like no one's ever used this name before. So it gives me I can actually DM it now. I can DM this bot and it gives me a token. Now I can copy this token, right? And then I'm gonna go into here and I'm gonna paste this token. Bam, that's my Telegram bot. Now we're gonna select the CPU, memory, and storage. These values you cannot change. Yeah, I said, hey Remy, I actually said 400 credits. You get 400 credits. I don't know how long it lasts if you're using OpenClaw, so give it a shot. But OpenClaw will deplete starting from the 400 credits that you have without using any of your own API keys. Okay, so coming to resource configuration, you can't change these values later. So you need to set it for whatever you want. For storage, I set it to 30 gigabytes, 30 gigabytes. For memory, I do 4. CPU, I do 2. I think this is like the bare minimum that you need to have like a pretty decent OpenClaw. And then I click deploy. Done. Now we're going to sit back and wait. This takes about like 5 minutes. By the time it's open, you're going to have your own instance of OpenClaw. And I'll show you in the next like 2 minutes how to chat with it through Telegram. Any questions? Hi, Vile. Thanks, Kanzi. This is, I think, the easiest way to use OpenClaw. The other tutorials I've seen, people are setting up on Mac Minis. They do it in like very isolated VPS environments for $5 a month. With this way, you get something isolated. It only has as much permission as you give it. You don't even get to use your own API key. So it's like the easiest way and most isolated way to use OpenClaw. What I'm not going to show today is how to use the skill. I'll show you how to download a skill, which is really easy. You just chat with it and say, oh, I would need this skill, you know. But to use it, you know, it's going to take a lot more than 5 to 8 minutes. Let me do a quick refresh, see how it's doing. So it's still deploying. So where's everyone watching from? I'm streaming from New York City. Today is 34 degrees Fahrenheit. It was rainy all day. and it is 8:10 p.m. It's been a rainy day. I mean, it's still deploying, but let me show you what it looks like if we go into view details. Inside, it's still going, but you can see on the left, like here are the resources that we've given it. We can also come in here and edit. We can edit like which model that it's using. We can also edit the TG bot. Oh, hey Kanzi. It's 2 a.m. Oh shoot, you guys, it's 2 a.m. What are you guys doing up so late? Hey Fedosky, good to see you again. Hi Drewski. And then coming down to customization and control. I'll go through this as this gets deployed, you know. Oh yay, it's deployed, guys. All right, our OpenClaw is up. And you're gonna know it's up because one, it says it's green. It's green, it's running. Now we come into view details and now we can start chatting with it. What does that look like? So you're gonna be popped into here. It looks like a terminal, and it is a terminal. You can type in here some commands if you want. And so you can come in here, but before we type anything in, we're gonna pair your bot from this instance to your TG bot. To do that, you can copy this code here, which is claw pairing approved telegram, right? Copy, paste, and then you need to type in a code. How do you get that code? Well, you just go to Telegram and text your bot. So let's go to Telegram. Here's the bot that I just made. Now I'm gonna give it a text. Tinker Tuesday bot. Let me go hit start. I'm gonna say hello. And then immediately it gives me a response with a pairing code. This is the code you need. You copy and paste this code, bring it into the terminal, and then you enter this command. Okay, I hope you guys can see this. This command, claw pairing approved telegram with the code that I just got from my TG bot. I hit enter. It's doing its thing. It's gonna do its pairing. Okay, what does it say? Approved. If it's successful, it will say approved. Approved Telegram sender with this number. This number is my user ID. You can come into your Telegram and it matches with your user ID over here. Perfect. Now I've made the connection between this instance of OpenClaw and my TG bot. Now, when I message my TG bot, I'm actually communicating to this instance of Telegram and I'm using these credits. So let's go in and just start talking to it, you know? Now I'm talking to this instance using this AI model. I can say, hey, can you download, this is, by the way, the first message I'm gonna send is how I would download a skill. If I wanted the skill, the most popular skill people are using is called GOG. It's like a Google learning. Hey, Kanzi, learning is what we're doing up late. Thanks. Hey, Lakinska. I'm so sorry, I'm butchering your name. Lekin. Gnode. All right, the first message I'm going to send to my TG bot is how to install a skill. And it's super easy. I'm going to show you real quick, Claw Hub. So there are thousands and thousands of skills that Claw bot is able to download. And, you know, like there's stuff to like manage your lights, to connect to Slack, connect to your calendar. The one people are using most popular is called GOG. Let me show you what that looks like. And that is a Google Workplace command line. It connects you to Gmail, Calendar, Drive, Contact, Sheets, Docs. You have to be careful when using this because you give it like pretty much admin access across your entire Google Workspace. But that's why you give it like a fake email address. I've already created a fake email address for my bot. But anyway, I'll come to my Telegram. I'll say, hey, can you download and install the GOG Google Workspace skill? Okay. In the past, I've used other AI models, and sometimes they get confused, they don't know what I'm talking about. It is possible that sometimes I don't have the permission to download. What does it say? It says, "I should let you know I can't directly download and install skills, there isn't a built-in tool for that." Oh. To add a new skill, I have to download the skill package. Okay. I'm gonna say, "Can you help me download the skill package?" Okay. I think I may need a link to whatever GOG is. I think it's this one. Brew, maybe? I don't know. But this is gonna be some debugging. But I'm gonna stop it right here because I think it's about 5 to 8 minutes, and I just want to show you real quick that now we have a working instance of OpenClaw, and you can absolutely keep debugging this. Let me take you back into what that bot is right here. So coming back to the command line interface, there's a few different things you can do here. So we've been talking to it, we've been downloading, skills, and we're gonna have to debug that a little bit more. But here's a few different things you can do under customization and control. You can do Claw TUI, terminal UI. So rather than texting it through Telegram, you can do it through the UI, through the terminal right here. So you type in Claw TUI and it'll pull it back up. Hey, Final Spartan, it's good to see you. I'm glad you can come and hang out this time. Okay, so remember, like Final, I think when me and Final first met, OpenClaw didn't work, but now it is. um, Something cool about Final that I still remember is that he creates skills, or was it a package for OpenClaw? Let me know if I was wrong about that. Anyway, from here, I can actually speak to the agent. So I can say, can you, oh, this is weird. Install GOG. Okay. And now it's responding to me. All right, so anyway, that's the TUI. I wanted to show you that. I'm gonna exit and I'll show you one more thing. Just in case you wanted to start this from, like, let's say you didn't want to, like, you ran out of like credits. You ran out of the 400 CreateOS credits. Now you need to use your own API key. Well, you can. You can go to Claw Onboard. You can copy this command here, paste Claw Onboard, and now you have the classic OpenClaw, like, what do they call it? Dialogue, like download dialogue, and it will walk you through the process of like, oh, what's your API key? What skills do you want downloaded, etc., etc. So yeah, it will look like this. Yes, quick start, manual, use existing. Anyway, that's OpenClaw. Final said I worked on OpenClaw integration for locally running LLMs. All right, you were using something about MCPs. Yes. That'd be really cool if you could come up here and show it someday. Send me some stuff about it. Maybe I can show it. You know what? Actually, can you like just share in the group if you feel like it? I would love to check out some of your stuff, live on stream if you're comfortable with it. Yeah. So anyway, I think that's everything I can show today about OpenClaw. Like, look how easy that was. I think I did that in a couple of minutes. We have a open instance of OpenClaw. We're talking to it, and it's got enough memory, CPU, and storage for you to do stuff. But yeah, any questions, feel free to ask in the stream. If there's none, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next thing. Hi, Hopi. Hi, Zoe. Okay, so we did this one. Done. Now we're gonna move into trending GitHub repos. So I know that with this stream, I've never really, like, we've done a lot of vibe coding with apps. We've done some games, we've done some dating apps, we've done some like fun stuff here and there. we haven't exactly worked with technology from outside, like something totally out there, just play with new stuff. And if we're gonna keep tinkering on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I think it's important that I show you like how I find new stuff. If you guys don't send it to me, I'm gonna have to go out there and find it. So let me show you how I find it. The first thing I do is I go to GitHub. Apparently, GitHub has this site called GitHub Trending, right? GitHub Trending. And GitHub Trending basically looks at like what are the most popular repositories for today, and you can actually filter by today, or let me make this bigger. Most popular ones today would be, and you can go down this list. You can also filter by like what's been most popular this month, right? And you can also filter by language. You can filter by coding language. So if I wanted to look at like Python packages, these are the most popular Python packages for this month. I was looking at Hummingbot. Hummingbot's really cool. Apparently, it's like an open source software that lets you create high frequency crypto trading bots. So I was like thinking of maybe playing with something like this, live on stream. So anyway, yeah, there's like this has like 17,000 stars. That's crazy. You can filter. So this is one way I look for things. The second way is I go to ChatGPT. I literally type in. No, I use Grok. I use Grok. Um, the reason I use Grok rather than ChatGPT is because I think Grok scrapes Twitter and it has a more up to date like uh, user base or like database. So I asked, what are the few trending GitHub packages in the last 10 days? And it responded with these. It responded with OpenClaw, DaVinci scrappling, OpenClaw use cases, Koala World Monitor, and RUView, you know. And it tells you like, where it's scraped it from. It actually scraped it from like GitHub trending today and star histories. This is the second way. And then the third way is I go to Twitter. Twitter actually has this bot called Trending GitHub Repositories, and every day it will post what are the most starred GitHub repositories of the day, the week, and the month. So going down here, you see like review, system prompts, Wi-Fi dense pose, and all of these technologies are trending for a reason. You can zoom into each of them and figure out like, what's the cool new technology? What are people excited about? Yeah. So what we could do is I was looking at, we can actually zoom into one of these repos and try running it. And that's the point of Tinker Tuesday, is to try new technology. The one I was looking at right before this stream was this one, Koala 73 / World Monitor. So I went over to Google, I Googled it, and I found the repo. So this repo is a real-time global intelligence dashboard for AI-powered news source, geopolitical monitoring, infrastructure tracking. So let me show you what that looks like. It's supposed to look like this, which I think is so cool. So cool. And we can run it today. I mean, maybe I can spend like the next 10 minutes trying to run it. And then we'll end the stream with like a little bit of vibe coding. Yeah? Okay. Well, I'm gonna go get clone it. The reason I'm gonna get clone it, even though there's a link for it, worldmonitor.app. And oh, who's that? Oh, that's Bloomberg Business News. Yeah, this is a super cool dashboard. And you can run this locally too. So we can get clone it. I'm gonna go code, copy, go into cursor, and open up a new repo. Let me know if I'm going too fast or if any of this is like not interesting and you want me to pivot. If not, you can sit back, relax, and just like watch me tinker. Okay, now I'm gonna select clone repo and paste. This is the GitHub that I just pasted. I'm going to put it into NodeOps, place it right here, and it is cloning. All right, now that I have it cloned, I'm going to go into and then type in npm install. While it's installing, let me show you the README. The README is actually huge, huge. It's super, super, super big. Let me share this with you guys, actually. Can I put it in the stream? There. All right, so I just sent you guys the stream because I want you to take a look at the README if you want to, but it is crazy huge. The World Monitor does geopolitical military conflicts and stuff like that, but they also have a tech monitor, which also takes a look at like startups, cloud, military. Look at this. This one's more like tech related, right? Okay. They also have a finance monitor for global trading and central banks. You know, there's a lot of data here. There's a lot of data here. You know, there's also a happy monitor for positive trends and uplifting stories. And it all runs from a single code base with one click in the header bar. And let me zoom past this. Forget this. And then I'm going to go down to how to run this repository. I was just taking a look at it right before the stream. It's not even like that much data. Where is it? npm install. Here. So under quick start, they just say git clone, npm install Vercel dev, and then open localhost 3000. That's it. And then you can run some like environment variables. These are some of the variables you'll need. So like an Olama API, a Grok API key, if you're running through cloud, and a whole bunch of like tracking and marketing stuff. Yeah, and you can self-host too. But yeah, let's go back to cursor. We finished npm installing. Now I'm going to run Vercel dev. Yes. Okay. Looks like it's running. So this is now localhost 3000. We're running from my local machine now. Wow. Wow. That is so cool. This is so... Hi, Mr. Block. Hey, guys. This is so cool. So did you guys just see what happened? I took a GitHub repository and I git cloned it. I ran npm install. I ran Vercel dev. I kind of went by that really quickly, but it pretty much just asked me like, do you want to start a new project? You know, do you want to connect it to your GitHub repo, etc. And I just answered it. And now, bada bing, bada boom, we have a localhost 3000, the entire application running locally. And now you can mess with the code, manipulate it, run it through Claude. You can deploy it. Actually, you know what? That would be so cool if we deployed it on CreateOS. That would be cool. But we do have half an hour left, and I want to do some more vibe coding. But up to you guys if you want me to deploy this or not. But yeah, let's see what we can do. We can switch over to tech. Let me see what that looks like. Or finance. Jam John. Hi, Okiki. Hold on, I'm clicking on finance, but it doesn't look like it's moving. It's doing the spinny thing. Does anyone have any questions? Happy to answer any. If not, maybe I'll move on to the last thing I'm gonna do. Oops. Looks like it's reacting. It's definitely taking some time. That is so cool. Yeah, let's deploy it. Hey, Ime. Oh, it's got some errors. All right. The way I would deploy it is I would probably stick to Claude from within here and then use the CreateOS skills and push that up, which is just like an LLM. Hey, Pisam. Oh, the finance part is up. Let's see what this means. We can look at stock exchanges, central banks, internet outages. Interesting. So the red areas are conflict zones. So Ukraine, Sudan, as well as Myanmar. The reds are conflict zones. Yeah, the finance part is very necessary. Hey, Effiong Ime, I hope I'm not saying your name right. Good morning. Yeah, I thought this app was really cool. And just to have open source technology that just runs with npm install, that's just crazy. You can also install this as an application, right onto your machine. Yeah, they compile down into Windows or Mac Apple chip or Mac other Intel chip. But I haven't spent too much time on this dashboard, and I wanted to understand what else I can assess from this bit. So right now we're still running locally. Let me go into the one that's actually deployed. All right, so this one's actually not on my machine. Now we're looking at finance.worldmonitor.app, and we're using their API keys. And let me see, what are these blue lines for? Oh, they're waterways. It's an undersea cable. Wow, that's so cool. Do you guys know what undersea cables are? It's a cool little bit of knowledge that I picked up. I'm gonna see if you guys know what undersea cable. Don't Google it, by the way. Let me know if you know what it is. Hey, Benjamin. Oh, that's because it's a strategic waterway. Let me untoggle that and see what happens. Okay, there's the stock exchanges. And here's the startup hubs. All right, since nobody's responding, I'm going to move on to the next thing. Undersea cables are how internet is connected. So it's actually really massive how there's like deep under the ocean. They've basically assembled these like giant fiber cables that connect from country to country, and uh, that's how internet crosses, which is crazy. Absolutely wild. Such a crazy infrastructural thing about the world. All right, well, we're gonna move on to the next thing. We just went through how to find new trending GitHub repos and new technologies. I showed you 3 different ways to do that. The last thing is we're gonna do vibe coding. So for the next like 25 or so minutes, I'm gonna try and vibe coding this idea I had. The idea is to create Marie Kondo for emails. We have 9,000 emails. Let me show you my email account, guys, just to show you how many freaking emails I have. Oh, I have 8,000 emails. 8,013 emails. And you know what? I don't have enough time to go through all of them to manually delete. Oh, Benjamin asked, are there community incentives for early builders? We have a few different programs going on. The only one I know of that's happening right now is that we have 400 credits for anybody who's building. As soon as you go into CreateOS, you can vibe code and deploy. There may be more incentives though. You should DM us and see if there's something going on. We're always looking for new builders. But yeah, anyway, back to Marie Kondo emails. I have like so many emails, and the idea is to go in and create something for it. So I went into, instead of going to ChatGPT, which is normally what I do for these streams, I go into ChatGPT, I type out exactly the kind of app I'm looking for, and then it spits out like a general build that I can work off of. And then I bring it into Claude, and then, sorry, not Claude, Cursor. I go into Cursor, and then I kind of like tell it what I want, right? Instead of doing it like that, I'm gonna do it something I've never done before. I'm gonna use Claude Code. So let's start with a new cursor, new, brand new, and I'm gonna do, what did I do last time? We're gonna say open project. Okay, open projects, go to node ops and hit new folder. For this folder, I'm gonna call it Marie Kondo. No, we're gonna call it email cleaner. Wait, Marie Kondo email, and hit create. Good morning, gamer. Mr. Block asked, how does CreateOS handle security and smart contract audits? Well, that's a really great question. We don't do smart contract audits. But it sounds like you want to tell me something about smart contract audits. We're not a smart contract team. We don't run any code on smart contracts. We're actually an infrastructure and deployment company. There's nothing crypto about us other than the tokens that we use to incentivize people. Okay, so starting with Marie Kondo email, I'm in a brand new folder. See how there's nothing going on here? I can instantiate Claude by just typing in Claude, Claude, and hit enter. If you guys have not worked with Claude before, you can just come in here and type in like Claude install, Claude code install, and it's pretty much like a homebrew install. You just like curl it. Enter this curl and then you have it. All right, anyway, to start a new project, you just type in Claude. And it's gonna ask like, do you want to install Claude inside Marie Kondo email? Yes, I do. Thank you, Kanzi. I like the name too. I love Marie Kondo. Do you think I look like her? Okay, now we're in Claude code, and that's it. We're already talking to an LLM right now, and it's using my API key, which I pay for, by the way. So I actually pay for Claude API keys. I've set like a $25 limit, and I've noticed that like maybe after like 10 prompts, I use maybe $2. So anyway, let's try and tell it how to build this app. All right. Hey, GM Grace. How's everybody doing today? All right. I'm going to try and type up a prompt for this app. You guys can watch as I type. You can watch as I type, you can chill, you can relax, sit back. Grace asked, will users be able to hide, will users be able to customize or fork their own versions of this app, the one I'm doing now, or the trending one? The trending one I did earlier, you can absolutely fork. That was the World Monitor, that was open source. This one I have not created a repository for, so this is still local. If you want, I can push it up. I think this is the part where I don't know. I don't know if I have to have a repo in order to push this up, but we'll see. After we're done with this app, which I'm hoping I can do in the next 20 minutes, we're going to try and push it up into CreateOS and deploy it together. This is not my best prompt, but here's what I ended up typing. Let me hide the stream for a moment. This is what I ended up with. I said, can you help me build an app that can triage my emails in my Gmail account? I.e., clean up old promo emails, unsubscribe them for me, check in with me if it can be deleted. This app should not delete emails without my permission. Instead, it should triage the emails into files or folders, and it should be able to programmatically unsubscribe for me. I know this is not the best English, this is not the best prompt, but let's give it a try and see what it comes up with. Oh, I should also say, it should be a standalone app. Enter. And that's it. Now we wait for it to come up with something. And we will run the code. Let me ask you guys real quick. Have you guys ever worked with Claude Code? Okay, Claude is asking me what type of interface would I prefer for this email triage app. I would choose web-based. And I prefer Node.js and TypeScript. How should the app store triage decisions and email metadata? Local JSON. What actions should the app be able to perform? It should be able to apply Gmail labels, yes. It should be able to programmatically unsubscribe, yes. It should archive. And that's it. No, it should also be able to unsubscribe. Wait. No, it already does that. Okay, no, this is good. Submit. Flibbertigibbetting. Flibbertigibbetting. Hey, Kanzi. Okay, so you haven't worked with Claude Code yet. So far, what do you think of how I'm using it? It's pretty easy, right? This is like something you can do even with VS Code, you know? I happen to be sitting in Cursor, and I do happen to have a Cursor plan, but Cursor is like 20 bucks a month for like, and you're kind of glued to whatever, you know, LLM that Cursor has. For Claude Code, you can use it with VS Code. Kind of, it's like a separate thing. And you only pay as you go for however much you want, rather than 20 bucks a month. Yeah, it's easy. Oh, wait, and you can't see the stream. Here we go. How much are the plans for Claude Code? The plans are, for Claude Code, I use an API key. So let me show you what that looks like. Claude API. So it's pay as you go. So you have one open API key. And what I do is I just set a limit. So my limit is like, what is it, billing? I put in $25. I link it to my credit card. It charges me $25 and it just subtracts from the 25 each. And I'll show you my API keys. So this one, Claude Code. So Claude Code I've had since July 24th, and I've only used 23 cents. Yeah. So I think this may be more cost effective than paying for Cursor. I don't know, if you're just playing around. And you don't have to put $25 in. I think you can do less than that. Yeah, but that's my job. My job is to play around with AI tools. So that's why I have so many of them. I think I also pay for Grok. I also pay for ChatGPT. So my AI bill is probably like $60 or $80 a month, which is not that much. Okay, so what's it asking me? It's asking node version npm. Yes, don't ask me again. It also tells you how many tokens it's using for each prompt. Each time I'm using Claude, I'm utilizing tokens, and these tokens are how, like, it's using money. I'm paying for these tokens. So if you have a particularly maybe complicated prompt that uses a lot more tokens, you're gonna be going through that $20 way faster. That's a crazy amount to pay for AI tools. I guess that's a lot. I've heard worse. I have this one friend that pays 200 a month for, like, Cursor Premium. Did you know okay, let me just show you something real quick because I thought this was crazy. Alright, so there's tiers to Cursor. Hold on. Cursor tiers. Alright. So, I'm on the Cursor basic plan, which is $20 a month. Here, let me show you. Make it real big. I wish you can see my screen. I'd rather this cover my face than cover my screen. Can I do this? Oh, yeah, perfect. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so this is Cursor, and this is the tier I'm on, which is 20 bucks a month. It's entry level. This is more than enough for what I need for when I'm, like, coding rinky-dinky apps. The level up is called Pro Plus, $60 per month. The ultra, ultra high level is $200 a month. And this is what my friend uses. And, like, when you get to this level, you are constantly, every day using Cursor. Like, there is a point where Cursor will slow you down. Apparently, when you start hitting the upper limits of your grade, your AI starts to slow down, it starts to not respond in a smart way, and it doesn't tell you right away that you've hit the limit, you just know from the way you're, like, if you're using it so much. So, yeah, that's me spending $60, $80 a month on AI tools is, like, not even crazy. I think I spend, let's see, $5 on Grok, 20 for ChatGPT, 20 for Cursor, and I use, like, you saw my Claude code, I put $25 in, which I still haven't finished using. It takes me, like, 6 months to go through $25. But yeah, let's go back to Cursor, see what happens. So, you see, like, it's just using tokens. We've elapsed almost 4 minutes now, and it's used, like, 11,000 tokens. By the time this is done, I should have a full app that we can play around with, we can see if it's working, we can deploy. Yeah, it's massive. But yeah. From my developer friends, most people just rave about Claude Code. Oh, okay. This is cool. So Claude Code is different from Cursor in that, like, just like the experience of how you're coding with AI. So with Cursor, usually, like, it just does the thing for you and will occasionally ask you, like, how do you want me to proceed? Whereas Claude Code is, like, much more like dev oriented, I think. So for example, right now it's asking me, like, how do I want to proceed with edits? Does it want does it want does it want me to, like, keep auto accepting those edits, or do you want me to, like, manually approve each edit? So this is up to you. You can see how, like, you can adjust, like, how minute those changes would be. I would say I'd go with option 1, clear context and auto accept edits. And the developers that work with Claude Code, they say, like, it's awesome because you just work directly from inside the terminal the whole time. So as it's going, it's telling you what it's doing. It's creating the package.json, creating the TS config, creating the database schema. Yeah. Okay. Kanzi asked, since you've been building with AI tools, which would you say is the best tool you've used? Have you tried SuperGrok? I have not tried SuperGrok, actually. But wait, let me look up what SuperGrok is. SuperGrok. Ultimate Grok chatbot upgrade. Okay, so last year when I started playing with AI tools, by the way, I've been a DevRel for, like, since start of 2025. I first worked with AI agents back in January 2025. So I've been using AI for quite some time, probably not the longest, but enough to like have tried it. I don't think coding with Grok makes sense. This is just hear me out here. I don't think coding with Grok makes sense. I started with Grok, not super Grok, but the just regular Grok. And for a while, I was coding with it, and then I would go to my cursor, or no, I was using VS Code at the time, and then I would just like copy my code, bring it file by file into Grok, and ask, "Hey, what's happening here? Why is this code not working?" And then it'll give me some feedback, and then I go back into VS Code and fix my work. And this was like back and forth, and it didn't have the full context. I don't think Grok and Super Grok are meant for coding. That's what I'm trying to say. After I did that, I discovered Cursor. All my friends were like, "Oh, use Cursor. It's totally worth 20." It's like it turns you to like a 10x developer overnight. So I went to Cursor. I haven't gone back. Did you? Oh my god. Well, let him be mad, dude. Let him be mad. um, Grok is great for other things. I think it's great at like, first of all, I think it's like one of the only LLM models that really have like real-time context. This is the problem. If you go to ChatGPT, for example, and ask like, tell me what happened yesterday. I don't know if it's able to do this anymore, but if I ask like, what's the latest news from yesterday? Oh my god, I just realized my stream is supposed to end, but I'm like too interested in this right now. It used to be last year when I went to ChatGPT that it was not able to answer me because it doesn't have the context. Well, now that I'm trying it, it worked. So that was cool. What's cool about Grok is that it was able to do that even since last year. So it was able to get like the latest news, and that's because it was scraping from Twitter. When it gets data from Twitter, it gets like more current news than whatever is feeding into ChatGPT. And I believe ChatGPT will use a RAG model and will go out and Google whatever it needs to do, whereas like Twitter has access to all like this on the ground news. So anyway, yeah, that's why I think Grok may be useful for that. So it's really good for like scraping trends, taking a look at like what people are talking about, um, yeah, researching. But it's not for coding. So for coding, I would recommend going to either Cursor, 20 bucks a month, or Claude Code. My stream is supposed to end in like 2 minutes, and Claude Code isn't even done coding my app. Thanks, Kanzi. I appreciate you asking about that. I think there's so many other AI tools that I haven't tried yet. You know, I was one of the beta testers for what is it called? The Chinese one, Manus. When Manus came out, it was crazy cool. Like you're able to code like games with 3D.js immediately. I was one of the beta testers for that one, and that was really cool. Manus is still going. It was like this all-in-one AI tool. Uh, but there's so many out there. There's way too many for me to keep up with. So I try to stick with whatever is like most useful for what I'm supposed to be doing. And I think we're all in this together, trying new tools and trying to figure out what works for what we're doing. For example, if you were a designer, the other day I was talking to a group of designers who are trying to learn new AI tools so that they can use AI and become better designers. When you're a designer, you're probably using Figma. Figma has its own set of AI tools, like visual stuff, turning something that's UI into something that's a usable app. That's a whole nother world that I have never touched before, you know. Kanzi said, it's okay to consume time. I'll wait till you're done. Don't know about the others. The stream is really chill. Like if you want to stay, you can stay. If you want to go, you can go. Um, I ate dinner, so I'm not hungry. I have water. and my AI is doing the work for me. The world is changing in front of us, and we just watch. Did you guys think, like, 10 years ago that we would be here today? Just open question now. Did you think AI would be a thing in your life 10 years ago? I'll tell you that I did. I did know. 10 years ago, I was just starting to become a developer. So I started attending a lot of conferences. I was doing Python conferences. And back then, like, I, I attended a conference and I watched AI code. And it was so dumb. Kanzi said, hell no. Yeah, right? You didn't know that, like, we will have, like, AI at our fingertips, coding in, like, 2 seconds. But yeah, 10 years ago, I was watching AI code, and it was a big deal, and we were watching it, and it was so dumb. It kept making mistakes, and then it would just go back, delete, and keep going. So this was, like, very, very rudimentary coding AI, and that was, like, at PyCon in Austin or Houston, PyHue, one of the Python conferences back in Texas. This was 10 years ago when I was first a developer. And and then after that, I became a Python and JavaScript developer for about 5 or 6 years, and I worked a ton of jobs. I did a lot of stuff in the crypto world. Um, and then it wasn't until, like, I think 2023 when ChatGPT came out, and I think at that time, it was still just a chatbot. It wasn't really great at coding yet. And so most people were using it to, like, just to talk to it, understand, and play with the idea of, like, coding. And then it wasn't until, like, AI agents became a thing in the start of 2024, was it? No, 2025. January 2025, end of 2024 was when AI agents were really booming. I would say middle of 2024 if you really wanna go back around. So that was when they really popped off the LLMs, and then there was, like, what was it? What was the name? Eliza. Yeah. Do you guys remember Eliza? Sorry, I'm just totally rambling because this thing is still going. But what is it? Kanzi said, "But look where we are now. How did you know?" Okay, because okay, so I've worked in tech for about 10 years. Um, Middle of 2024 was when AI agents became a thing, and people were playing around with it. And Spartan and Eliza came out, and those things triggered virtuals to come out, and then suddenly they've created a billion-dollar empire overnight through these AI agents. And so, like, it really transitioned from 2023 when ChatGPT was like a chatbot into something that you can actually use, like, with some level of autonomy in 2024 and 2025. Kanzi said, it's massive the amount of data that's been fed into the LLMs for it to be this great. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. And we're using the public facing one. Can you imagine, like, the specialized LLMs out there that are specially trained with data that's not open source? Insane. Insane. I don't even know, like, the level, the caliber of LLMs that, like, the government's using, for example. Or, you know, like, if you had the money to pay for the upper echelons of, like, specialty LLMs. But yeah, going back to the trends of what I've noticed in 2025 was when AI agents, like, blew up, and that's when I knew I had to jump ship. I was a developer up until 2024, 2025, and then I realized I had to pivot my job because I knew that I couldn't keep up with, like, some of the best developers, yet I had to keep up with the newest trend. I couldn't, like, ignore AI. There's no way you should be ignoring AI, by the way. Even if you're an awesome developer, you should be leaning on it. And I noticed that, like, the most awesome developers still kind of lose the ability to code once you, like, rely on it, but that's okay. I think it's one of those things that, like, has to happen. There's gonna there's, like, I have so many ideas about, like, the trends of where AI is going. But I will segment this rant towards myself. By the way, this is finished. But I'm gonna finish this up real quick, my story, and then I'm gonna run npm install, and we're gonna check out what happened, what Claude created. Okay, so to summarize the story, 2025, I was like, you know what? I can't ignore it. I need to learn about AI agents. So I started building AI agents. I built with Eliza, I built with virtuals, I got a job with virtuals, and I became DevRel. And I started to live stream and do stuff like this, live stream tutorials. I did YouTube videos. I went on to Discord and I ran these and I did in-person meetups too. At the time I was living in Thailand. So I would run in-person meetups and I'll talk about AI agents, like what's trending, what's cool, what should you invest in, what should you try out, all that was like keeping up with the trends, you know. And then I discovered NodeOps. So this is the company I've been with for about a year. NodeOps is awesome. I met them in Hong Kong at the time, and they were also looking for a DevRel, and I learned that like virtuals kind of went up and then went down. And I learned about the inside of like working with them. I learned about them. So I was like, you know what, this may not be the company for me. So I left and I joined NodeOps, which has been fantastic for the last year. Like the speed at which the team builds the technology. I mean, just try CreateOS. It's awesome. Like the team is fantastic. You can deploy OpenClaw in like 2 seconds. So yeah, plus I have like the freedom and autonomy and flexibility to like live stream whatever I want and just do what I enjoy, which is like trending technology. So anyway, I'm gonna stop with my rant. Thank you, Kanzi. What did you say? YHHLLOR, the military. I keep hearing about Anthropic and the government. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been kind of following it. I think it's a good thing Anthropic is saying no to giving access to it. It basically TLDR, Anthropic good. Thank you, Vile. I'm glad you can hear my journey. I have so much more to tell you, dude. So much more. So much more. I've done so much in my life that, like, if I died tomorrow, I would have zero regrets. And I think not many people can say that. So, but it's already 9:07. I kind of want to finish this up so I can go to sleep. Also, it's like 2 a.m. where you guys are, or 3 a.m. So let me finish and run npm install. Thank you, Kanzi. Yeah, it's been quite a journey. But there's more to see. Like, we're in this together. Most people still don't know how to use AI beyond chatting with it. And now you have this superpower. Anyone can build applications. Anyone can deploy an app. Anyone can make money off of it. Like, you have access to the internet in ways that like your parents and grandparents couldn't understand. So the next step is really just to like filter out this noise and and see what you can do with it. My one advice to you is to focus on one thing. Just focus. There's so many interesting things out there that like you can spend all day trying new things, but if you cannot focus on one thing, it's hard to really like build a skill in one bit. Anyway, yeah, this is all my philosophy about like where my projections and where like the next career is. There's no way I'm going back. I can't become a developer again. I don't have the skills anymore. Even though I spent 10 years as a software developer, I'm useless if you give me a like huge code base. Maybe the best I can do is like import that code base into one of these tools and then ask it to do something. But there's no way in hell I'm going back into like looking at source code and reading line by line and debugging and putting print lines. There's no way I'm going back to that anymore. Like, we're spoiled. And I don't think the people who are studying comp sci right now and don't know how to use AI are screwed. I'll also tell you that like some of the schools in New York City right now, they're called AI schools. Um, they're training people who have been software developers for like 10 plus years, because they software developers, you either sink or swim now. You have to learn AI. Anyway, enough ranting. What's it saying? Okay, npm install. Kanzi said, I don't need mentoring for you. I've lived 1,000 lifetimes and seen a lot. Yeah, I have seen a lot. Oh my God. I've seen people get arrested in the crypto world. I've also seen some shady stuff happen. Yeah. Sometimes when you're working with technology and you're at the cusp of what's new, um, people are like free thinkers, they're risk takers. And I love that. I love the growth mindset. It's just like when it comes to crypto, man, the greed, you can see when people are greedy, you know? Anyway, yeah, I've met a lot of people too. Hey, Kanzi. Kanzi. Okay. Okay, so we're still doing an npm install. I think the future of careers, by the way, is it's going to go three ways. Either as a software developer, obviously you should know, and you're working in tech, you should use AI. I think in any technology, you should be using AI, right? Or the next career is physical labor. People like working in construction or those who are doing like uh, these things cannot be replaced by AI. So physical jobs, and then also services catering towards the rich. So luxury experiences, um, things like I can't even imagine what that would be, but things that cater to the mega rich would continue to flourish. Exclusive experiences like health related, maybe exclusive like travel experiences or whatever is gonna like continue to be a good career move. And then the last thing is in person. So building your personal brand, making it so that like you as a person, your value is in you being there physically as a human being, not as like your digital skill set. Does that make sense? Yeah. Luxury experiences sounds great. I still think like in the future when AI becomes more like ubiquitous and some of the jobs that are traditionally done by humans may be replaced. Um, I think we'll have to see a shift in careers. And there's a lot of talks of like what that would look like, but in my opinion, I think luxury and in-person experiences won't go away. Things such as like bringing people together, um, catering towards like physical experiences, in-person experiences, running events. I wonder how many tokens I'm using this whole time. Yeah. Okay, coming back to the code, we're still running npm build and npm install. And the reason why it's not straightforward is because it's going back and editing the lines. You see what's happening here, the red and the blue? It ran it, figured out it wasn't working, and then went back to edit the code. This is what's cool about it. Because if it was cursor and it ran into an error, you would have to highlight the error, put it back into cursor. This is all within the terminal, so it reads the error for you. Yeah, I know, it's definitely a lot. Wait, I think it's working. Okay, I think it's running. I'm just curious how much I've used. Dude, do you see that? Earlier, I had used 23 cents, and after this whole Marie Kondo, I I used $2.84. Wait, why is this running? Okay, it's not running yet, but it gave me instructions to run it. So it says I need to set up my environment variables and then create my Google OAuth authentication, create a project, enable Gmail API, create OAuth, add redirect. All right, I've done this step before, and this ish takes at least 15 minutes. If you guys are still here, I'm down to go through this experience, but I'm just saying, like, this stream is going way over time. I think I need to take off my shirt. I'm starting to sweat. I know, right? I'm using all these credits to make a Marie Kondo app. If I commit, I'm gonna do this. Okay. All right. It needs me to go here to create Google OAuth. Have you guys ever set up like a Google OAuth before? Yep. Thanks for being down, Kanzi. Appreciate you being here. I don't know how many other people are here. Say hi if you are. I'll cap this at like, if this takes me another 45 minutes, I may have to give up. But let's see how far we can get together. And I know it's like super late where you guys are. So. All right, it told me go create a project and enable Gmail API. So let's do it. Let's go create a project. Go under my project. I'm going to create a new project. I'm going to call it Marie Kondo email. Create that. Oh, you haven't? Okay, this is awesome because Google Cloud OAuth is pretty much what is the way for you to connect with OpenClaw to any Google related projects. It's like every time you sign in with Google in an app, it's using Google OAuth in the background. All right, now that I've created a new project, let me switch over to it. Oh no, exit page. Okay, I'm switching over to Marie Kondo email. And now we're going to go into APIs and services. Click APIs and services. And we're going to enable the Gmail API. I think we can just search for Gmail API. I think so. Yeah, there it is. Gmail API. And so you want to be able to enable it. When you enable it, click this button here. Click enable. It means that the OAuth JSON that we generate at the end has the ability to access Gmail. It says to call this API from your own application, you may need to create credentials. I'll create it when I have to. Let's go back. It says create a project, enable Gmail API. Done, done. Now we're going to create the OAuth 2.0 credentials. So let me click create credentials over here. Sorry, this is going like kind of fast, but this is how fast I have to go, or else I'm not going to survive this thing. All right, we're using the Gmail API. I'm going to select, God, I've just done this like 10 million times. What data will you be accessing? User data or application data? Wait, I don't know which one to select. Different credentials are required for authorized different types of data you can request. Do I select? Let me ask Cloud. Web application. So application. Next. Now it wants me to create a service account. This is the annoying thing. It's hard for me to explain what a service account is. But it's something about like how Google uses its like permissioning system to isolate, access. So you must create something called a service account. I don't quite know how to explain it. Maybe perhaps I don't quite understand it. All I know is that like a service account must be created. I'm going to try and not click anything and just go forward with it. Okay, service account was created. And let me make sure if my OAuth credentials have been created. Okay. So right now we're under my project Marie Kondo emails. We're under credentials in here. And under here you see there's 3 different things. There's API key, OAuth client, and service account. We just created the service account. Next, we have to create an OAuth client ID, I believe. I need to configure the consent screen. So the consent screen is what happens when you log in with Gmail and it pops up and says like, do you give this app permission to do blah, 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 blah with your email? That's what the consent screen is. And this is what we're making right now. So let's give our app a name. Call it Marie Kondo email. And I'm going to use my own email. Next. We're going to call external, right? Yeah. External. We're going to use my email address. Wait, no. That's my fake email address, the one I used for OpenClaw. And hit create. All right. Now we have to create the OAuth consent screen. Where is that? Sorry, I got lost a bit. Okay, I'm back in Marie Kondo email, APIs and services. Under OAuth consent screen, here it is. So now we have to create an OAuth consent screen. So we have to click Create OAuth Clients. And we're going to select Web Application because that's what we're making. We're making a web app. And we're going to give it a name. We're going to call this Web Application Name is what happens when the Google pop-up screen says like, do you want to connect to this app? And that's the app that we're creating now. Marie Kondo Email Cleaner, right? Email Cleaner. And then under Add Redirect URL. Oops, what happened? Ask Claude Chat. Yeah, right. All right. Under Authorize Redirect URL, now we're going to use, where is it? This one, this callback URL. HTTP localhost 3000. So I'm going to click Add URL and then hit Paste. Okay, that looks good. What else? Scopes. Add these scopes. Do I need to set scope? No. Okay, now I'm going to click Create. All right, so I'm sharing my screen so you guys can see all of my secrets. But basically what we've created is the OAuth JSON object that we need to create our application. You can copy these. You can also just download the JSON that takes all of this and puts it into a single file. So I'm downloading it. I'm going to give it a name, Marie Kondo Email Cleaner, and placing it into my NodeOps folder. There's no rhyme or reason. I'm just putting it there for safekeeping. And now we're going to go back into Claude Code. I haven't added any test users or scopes. Let me go back and do that. Here it is. Under test users, you can add your own email address. So test users are anybody who may be signing in to use your app. So this gives them special permission. Okay. And then, of course, okay. So I've added 3 test users. It's under testing. And whenever you're ready, you can publish your app so the public can now use it. Okay, I'm not going to deal with scope right now, but so far I think we're all set. All right, cool. I think I've done everything here. Wait, maybe I do need scope. Oh, you can also upload a logo for your app here. Where's scope? Hey, Kanzi. Yeah, this is pretty amazing. I know. Thank you. I'm glad you think so. Here it is. This is the scope we're looking for. So we need to enable Gmail modify Gmail labels. Gmail modify Gmail labels. Where is this? Oh, I can just manually add it. Okay. So I manually just pasted what Claude gave me. And I need to separate each one with a comma. Each scope should be on a new line or separated by commas. Oh my god. Why didn't you guys stop me? I could have kept it on a different line instead of painstakingly adding commas. All right, I'm done. So I clicked add to table. So there it is. Those are the 4 scopes that we needed. And I'm going to click update. And by now, we've done everything that Claude asked us to do. Now I can say, okay, I'm done creating the OAuth credentials. I have the OAuth JSON. What's next? I think the next step may be to populate the environment variables. Yep, I was right. Okay, now I need to copy this. Let's duplicate it. Copy and paste. I'm going to rename it to .env. And it's not going to be example, it's just going to literally be .env. Shit. And now we're going to use that JSON file and bring it in here. So let me open that file. I'm actually just going to go through my terminal and then move that file, call it Marie Kondo, and then I'm going to move it into this folder here. Yep, there it is. All right. So I moved it over, and this is the file. Let me give it a wrap so you can see what the whole file looks like. View word wrap. Yep, there it is. Okay, so inside this JSON file, it's kind of ugly, but you have a client ID, you have a project ID, you have a token authorization. Basically, this is all the sensitive data that points Google towards your application. This is what we need to move into our environment variable. First, I'll start with copying the client ID and then put it into my environment variable. So you see, Gmail client ID, I'm just going to paste that right here. Bam. That's me. Now I need the secret. Let's go back. Where's my secret? Here it is. This is my secret. It's painstaking, but you do this one time and it's going to be your environment variable. Okay, redirect URL stays the same. Session secret. So session secret is whatever you want to type in. This is basically the word that's gonna they use. Let's give it like Kanzi. Since you've been here for so long, I'm gonna honor you, and I'm gonna put your name right here as the session secret. Okay, because it can be any string. Encryption key. We can pretty much put any encryption key we want. We can do the same thing. Put your name here. And yep. Call this session secret. Oh, you're welcome. You're part of my encryption now. You ever think about like all the secret that's sitting inside code? You know, things that people can't see. You're one of those secrets now. Okay, so let's go back to Claude and see what's next. So I think that's all I need for my environment variables. All right, So I filled in my values. I filled in my session and encryption key. The database stays the same. And now I can start the server. npm start. All right. Before I npm start, let me make sure my other app is closed and ended. Okay, close. And then, yeah, close. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to npm start. This is the moment of truth. We've been doing this for, I think, an hour. I started at 8:30. We did the prompting, the npm installing, and the Google OAuth. All through Claude Code. Oh, Vile. Why are you jealous? Why are you feeling jealous? Yeah, this is the moment of truth. Oh my god, I think it's running. Okay. Wow. Okay. Wait. It says servers running, database initialized, servers running at HTTP 3000, API is at this endpoint. It says open it, log in with Gmail. It will be redirected to the OAuth consent screen and then authorize it to use my app. If I get any warnings, go ahead and proceed and then click scan emails. Okay. Let's do it. I'm going to log in with email. Hey, Cypher Badger. Oh my god. You're here. Cypher is one of my real life friends. Hi. Good to see you. You came in just in time as I'm about to test this app that I vibe coded for the past hour. You may watch me fail. Basically, it's a Marie Kondo email app and whoa, it worked. Oh my god, I'm logging in with my Gmail. Okay, I'm gonna log in with Avina. This is my fake email address. You see how it says like continue to Marie Kondo email? Do you see that? We literally just made that app now. Wait, what happened? It should be doing the redirect. That's what the redirect URL is. And it's either failing. I remember working with this before, and I think I know what's happening right now. Oh, Kanzi, you're so sweet. I am not a genius, but I'm gonna put that up there anyway. I'm not a genius. I just know how to use AI. All right, it's hanging for a reason. Let's do some debugging. Let's go under network. Figure out what's going on. Oh, authorization blocked. Okay. If you are a developer of Marie Kondo email, see the error log. So I got a 400 error. Yes, I am the developer. Okay, let me copy this error. And then I'm going to bring it into Claude. I think I'm blocked because I may not be I'm a test user, right? I know I added myself. So let me go into Cursor and tell it what happened. I mean Claude. It says, check the redirect URI. Make sure it is exactly like this. Okay. Let's go into it. Make sure it is exactly like that. So Marie Kondo, redirect URI. Yeah, it is exactly like that. API auth callback. That's correct. HTTP singular, no backslash at the end. Oh, verify my redirect URI. Okay, let me check my environment variables. Yeah, that looks correct too. Yeah, that looks correct. Yes, that's me. I'm burning those credits. I'm telling you, sometimes using AI is not cheap. One time I told you it took me like $2 to deploy one app, and that was because I was stuck in an infinite loop. The AI just kept screwing up because there was a name error. Sometimes it's worth it just to pay 20 bucks a month and just be like, I can use you for as much as I want. Okay, all right, let's try it now. Let's try it again. Go back to localhost 3000, log in with Gmail, click my fake email address. You've been given access. Yes, it's working. Okay, I'm gonna make this bigger so you guys can see what's going on. You've been given access to app that's currently being tested. You should only continue if you know the developer that invited you. Well, I know myself. And so you want to click continue here. And then I'm going to hit continue to allow my email address into this app called Marie Kondo email that we just created. I'm going to give it the ability to see and edit my email labels. I know, this is so cool. It's actually working. Wait, dude, I don't want to jinx it though. You just got to relax. Shh, don't jinx it. And then it can read, compose, and send emails from my Gmail account. Okay, hit continue. What? My login just failed. What the hell? Wait, I'm gonna try this again. Continue, continue. Already has access, continue. All right, I got a login failed. Let's figure out what happened. Go back into cursor. I got redirected back to the app and got a notification that the login failed. I know, right? This is what life is like. I'm going to give this 15 more minutes and see where we get. But think about it, like, this whole experience took us, what, like, an hour? If if this was, like, 5 years ago before AI, how long would this have taken you? One person, maybe a team of people to create this app, and it would take them at least a week or 2, and now it's taking, like, 1 afternoon. Now it's just debugging, it's doing its thing, you know? I'm starting to get hungry, guys. Kinda wanna eat a second dinner. Oh! Oh my god! The issue was the encryption key. The encryption key has to be exactly 64 hexadecimals. So it generated one for me. Encryption key. Haha! So I couldn't use kanji. Sorry. I used your name for session secret, but I can't use your name for encryption key. Okay, now it's time to try it again. Do a little refresh, log in with Gmail again, go to my fake Gmail, hit continue, continue, continue. I've logged in! Okay, now what? What? Are you serious? Oh, thank you, Cypher. Late night ASMR vibe coding. I don't know what about this is ASMR. The part where I am awkwardly screaming, or the part where I tell you I'm hungry, or the part where I start crying because my code doesn't work. It looks like I got in, but I see a blank screen. What is supposed to happen now? It's the keyboard sounds. Thank you. Glad you enjoy my typing. Oh, it says once I'm logged in, I should be able to see name and email in the header, dashboard with a scan button, and all the stats. Okay. I don't see a dashboard. I don't see the scan button. Okay. Well, it definitely got my email address and my image, but I don't see a scan button. Yeah, I'm not crazy, right? Because I don't see anything here. Oh my god, I know what's happening. Wait. Okay, I've used $4.84. in the last hour using Claude. And I think I may have hit my limit. Because you see what's happening here? Hold on. What the hell is going on? But basically, this thing is going, but it's showing 0 tokens, which means the AI stopped working. I think I might have to exit this because it's not responding to me anymore. Yeah, it's stuck. All right, let me nuke it. You are a funny person, Kanzi. You are funny. This is definitely no rinky-dinky app with $4 credit consumption. I'm already spending real money to make this app. $4 whole dollars. This better be worth it. It's working. It's going. Honestly, I was thinking for the next stream, I was gonna work on the dating app and turn that into a more like less of a rinky-dinky app and make it into a real dating app. But if Marie Kondo becomes like a real app, dude, I think we can actually like sell it. We can put it up on the marketplace and I can show you how I would go about marketing it and selling it. And we can create like Instagram ads or something. I know, right? I hope it's worth it. Maybe we can go through the process of what it's like to actually make money off of these rinky-dinky apps that we're making. That's what NodeOps does though, by the way. Like we have a marketplace for you to like end the incentive structure for you to list your apps. Okay. It says what's on the screen? I see a purple header and nothing else. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we should make a template for Marie Kondo and then sell it. The way NodeOps right now is set up, I think it's like 20/80. You get 80% of whatever people you pay for. So for example, let's say you set this Marie Kondo app for like $10. If we set it for $10 a month, actually it's kind of a lot. $10 a month is a lot. We need just if this actually worked the way I'm picturing it, I would only want to clean my email like once a year. So what I really want is to pay like $1 a month or 50 cents a month because that comes out to $10 a year. What did you say? Yeah, we didn't get to finish the last dating app. Yep. But I have ideas for the next dating app, don't worry. Wait, what do you mean by screenshot? This thing is glitching so bad. I can't even read the text anymore. I feel like I'm having a stroke. But yeah, anyway. So if we sell Marie Kondo for $10 a year, which I would actually pay for someone to keep my emails clean, $10 a year is like $1 a month, which means if you $10 a year means like if you listed on NodeOps, you would keep 80% of that $10. So you would keep $8 and $2 would go to NodeOps for hosting the app, which is pretty fair, I think. But $8 per user per year, if you had maybe 100 users, you would have $800 in 1 year. I guess that would be worth it if all I'm doing is spending like $5 to $10 in API credits. I guess. And then you can make a lot more apps and just list it all up and get like 5 to 10 to 100 users per app. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just rambling here. Maybe you can be the brains, Kanzi. Okay, it's telling me to open an incognito window. Mm. Oh shoot, two-step verification. Two-step verification. Continue. I still don't see a scan button. I don't see a scan button. Okay. Oh, Kanzi says something. How is that gonna work? Wouldn't we need to top credits or so? For what? For Marie Kondo? Oh no, 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 you don't need credits. Okay, when you turn Marie Kondo into a template, you pretty much Dockerize your application, and every time someone uses your application, you get paid. Yeah, I think. I have to think this through, you know. But your credits are only consumed when you're deploying the application. But if users are just paying for your Docker image, they pay for their own credits. Yeah, you're not hosting it. But that's a different structure, honestly. Like, it depends. Do you want to Dockerize your image and then sell an instance of your deployment per user, so people would have their own instance of Marie Kondo email app? Or do you want this application to be freestanding? So the way we've built it out now is a web application. People each have to log in with their Gmail, and then like they have to go to a special website, call it like mariekondoemail.com, and then log in with their Gmail, connect their Gmail to it, give it access to all of this, and then have it go through its email. Assuming that's how it works right now, it's a standalone application. This is different. If you wanted to charge in a web application, you would need to put like a Stripe paywall or something so people can actually create an account. Before they can even log in with their Gmail, you need to charge them. If we do it the NodeOps way, that you're giving them the entire application in a kind of like obfuscated container. When you Dockerize it, people can't see your code. They pretty much run their own instance of the application with their own URL, and they log in from in here, which is still possible. Like you can do it this way. It's just different payment models. You know, do you host it or do you want them to host it? Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me do a screenshot. I'm actually over time. It's already 10. I don't know if I can send a screenshot here though, like, we're in the terminal. Oh, yeah, you're welcome. Okay, let me try something new. Yeah, there's no button here. This is crazy. It says there should be a big scan email button in the center. I mean, you gave me a suggestion, so I'll give it a shot. So I know it's terminal, and I know this is not gonna work, but for yours, because you're here and for your honor, I will do it anyway. I'm actually gonna screenshot it right now. Okay? You're watching me screenshot it. I'm gonna go into Claude. I'm gonna drag it into here. Oh my god, it worked! Wait, it actually took the image. Wait, let me see if that worked. Oh my god, it's slowing down. I'm hungry. I know, I hope it works too. All right, snacks. I got snacks. Did it work? It's not even responding to me. I'm gonna exit. Oh, good. It knows the main content area is empty. Yeah, the navigation and dashboard is not showing. It wants me to go into console to see if there's any errors. And it found the issue that the CSS is not displayed correctly. Sweet. It fixed the issue. Of course I have snacks on standby. You think I'm playing here? I don't play. Of course I have snacks. Oh, sweet. It says I should have it. It wants me to hard refresh. Command Shift R. So let's do it. Command Shift R. Oh my god. Oh my god. Do you see this, Kanzi? Anybody else who's still in the stream? Okay, I'm not cheating. You should always have your snacks on standby. That's just a noob mistake. If you're ever coming into a live stream, you know you're gonna be sitting for a while. You may be watching a movie with me. You need to have your snacks. Dude, we made it. I've literally been streaming for like 2 hours now, and I'm debating if I should actually click this button and scan my email, or should we save it for next time? Because if I go down this rabbit hole, we might be here all night. But I can't not do it. I can't not do it. Oh my god, it scanned! It actually scanned the email! Bro, it did it! Fuck! I clicked it! I clicked it! Did you see that? I have 52 emails from whoever this person is, Sienna Morales. I don't even know who that is. 17 from Instagram. It did the scan, it did the thing. And it triaged 4. So let's see what happened. Come on, Marie Kondo my emails. Here are all of my emails here. Got my top senders. I mean, honestly, this app does feel a little janky, but it's got some good bones. With a little bit more like massaging, I think this could turn into like a really nice front end, a really nice application to Marie Kondo your emails. Like it's still a little janky, like this triage stuff, and I still want to be able to like unsubscribe to stuff. Oh, I'm back online. Yeah, that was weird. Put that back here. This. Where are we? It has done what it's supposed to do. Upgrade next time to include dark mode and more features. Yeah, correct. It did. I'm going to connect it to my work email. Click scan. Wow. Oh my god, it's actually scanning my emails. I mean, this is really cool. All right. I think it's time to stop. It's time to stop. I just wanna say, if anybody's still here, thanks for hanging out. This was a really fun Tinker Tuesday. We went through a bunch of stuff. We deployed OpenClaw. We looked at some trending new technology, and just now we used Claude Code to deploy Marie Kondo email cleaner. We created Google OAuth. We did a lot, and we got it to a kind of functional state. I think the next step for it is to deploy it so we can get it running on CreateOS. We can do that. I know, Kanzi, you're still here. Thank you. Appreciate that you're still here. We can deploy it, we can list it up, monetize it, and maybe, I don't know, I was thinking for like Thursday, we can either keep working on the dating app or keep working on Marie Kondo. We're graduating from rinky dinky apps into real apps, you know? But yeah, this was a really fun session, way longer than my previous ones. Like a whole hour longer. Because we covered a lot more stuff. There's not a lot you can do in an hour. Like, I can show you stuff, but if we're gonna build something substantial, we need at least a couple hours. So it was really awesome today. I didn't expect to keep going this long. I'm really glad I had snacks on hand. So I'll see you guys on Thursday. Any questions? Ask me on the chat. You can follow me. My Twitter is jnodeops. Okay? It is impressive. I hope you learned something. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Bye, and have a good night wherever you are.